So, you think you've got what it takes to be a US Marine? Cute. You want the uniform, the glory, maybe even the tattoo that says death before dishonor, but can't spell dishonor right. But before you become the ultimate war machine, you'll have to crawl your way through every single soul-draining, back-breaking, pride-shattering rank in the Marine Corps. From clueless boot to crusty general, let's go ahead and roast every single one of them. Because hey, if the Corps doesn't break your spirit, this video might. Cue the drum roll. Let's start with the bottom. Private, E1. Ah yes, the larva stage of the Marine Corps. You have no rank, no stripes, no idea what's going on. You are quite literally the physical embodiment of confusion. You just got out of boot camp, where you were yelled at for 3 months straight and developed a Pavlovian fear response to the words "get online." Now you're standing in formation with your blouse wrinkled, your boots dusty, and your soul barely holding on. Everyone outranks you. Everyone talks down to you. Even the mop bucket looks at you like, really? You exist purely to be a warning to others. You salute trash cans. You call everyone sir, including the janitor. Your job? Whatever your superiors can dream up that involves scrubbing, carrying, and being yelled at. You have all the responsibility of a paperweight, but you're still held accountable like a war criminal when you forget your cover. But hey, the good news? You literally can't get demoted. Private First Class, E2. Congratulations. You've leveled up from being completely useless to mildly inconvenient. Now you've got 1 stripe and a false sense of confidence. You think you're finally a real Marine. You're not. You're just a private who survived long enough not to get NJP'd. You still don't know anything, but now the expectation is that you do. Your superiors start giving you tiny leadership tasks like, go take those boots to supply, or don't let the new private eat crayons unsupervised. You're still a boot. You'll be called boot. You'll dream of being a Lance Corporal one day, thinking that's the promised land. It's not. It's just slightly more trauma with slightly more responsibility. But enjoy this moment. This is the last rank where you can still mess everything up and have people say, he's just a PFC. Lance Corporal, E3. The most dangerous rank in the Marine Corps. Not because of firepower, because of ego. The Lance Corporal believes they know everything. They've been in for like 18 months, so naturally they've got the entire Marine Corps figured out. They're halfway between responsible adult and unhinged teenager. This is the rank where your confidence is sky high, but your judgment is in the barracks smoking with no pants on. Your job? Be the go-to person for everything that goes wrong. You lead fire teams, you train new guys, you absorb blame like a sponge. You're like a stressed-out babysitter with an M4. You'll talk trash about PFCs, get smoked with them anyway, and then brag about it at the smoke pit. You have just enough rank to be dangerous, and not enough to avoid being voluntold for every soul-crushing working party on base. This is also the last time you can get away with being a complete idiot and chalk it up to just being a Lance. Yes, this is real. Lance Corporals have unmatched confidence and zero impulse control. If something is broken on base, 80% chance it was a Lance Corporal. If it was fixed with duct tape and rage, same guy. Corporal, E4. Now you're an NCO. Time to pay for everything you did as a Lance. You've made it. You've got 2 stripes and a rocker, and suddenly people think you know what you're doing. Spoiler alert, you don't. But that won't stop people from giving you a squad to lead and expecting you to keep them from lighting themselves on fire. You are now responsible for the worst thing in the Marine Corps, other Marines. You'll spend your days filing paperwork, correcting uniforms, and issuing soul-destroying tasks. Your nights? Filled with existential dread and 6 unopened counseling sheets. You're caught between being liked by the juniors and respected by the seniors, which means neither group trusts you. Also, your Lance Corporals now hate you for becoming one of them. But hey, you get to yell a little louder and people actually flinch. That's power, baby. Sergeant, E5. You are now officially a babysitter with a side hustle in war. Being a sergeant means the Corps assumes you've mastered leadership, logistics, and the ability to survive without sleep. You haven't, but you fake it really well. You're responsible for everything your team does or fails to do, which is great because they fail constantly. You spend half your time writing counseling statements and the other half pretending you're not about to explode. You used to be fun. Now you're the guy who starts sentences with, "Back when I was a Lance." You're too senior to be in the barracks parties, too junior to avoid the blame when the squad gets lost in the woods. And your reward? A crisp uniform, a worn-out soul, and a reserved seat at every terrible base meeting. By the way, if you think Marines spend every day storming beaches and flexing in slow motion, you've watched way too many recruiting ads. Reality? It's 10% heroism, 90% cleaning things that are already clean while someone screams "motivate me" in the background. Staff Sergeant, E6. You are now a middle manager in camis. You don't yell anymore. You delegate the yelling. Your job is to run platoon-level operations while being the human bridge between officers who want results and NCOs who want a nap. You've got 15 years of wisdom and a deep, unspoken hatred of PowerPoint. You spend more time writing reports than training Marines. If a form exists, you've filled it out wrong at least once. You no longer fear PT, you fear email. And your dreams? Crushed under a pile of training schedules and awards requests. You're officially a staff NCO, which means people say, "Good morning, Staff Sergeant," with extra fake enthusiasm, and you hate them for it. Gunnery Sergeant, E7. They don't make Marines like you anymore. That's probably a good thing. You're the walking, talking embodiment of salty. You've seen things, you've done things, and you've probably buried those things deep, deep down next to your hopes and dreams. Now you spend your time mentoring sergeants, advising lieutenants, and threatening to write people up in terrifyingly calm voices. Your mustache is regulation but somehow intimidating. When you enter a room, people sit up straighter. Your power level? Only matched by your caffeine addiction. You're too old to fight, too young to retire, and one bad day away from turning into Full Metal Jacket. Master Sergeant. First Sergeant. E8. Choose your own nightmare. As a Master Sergeant, you're the technical wizard. You know every piece of gear, every code, and every loophole in the Marine admin system. As a First Sergeant, you're the moral compass, the hammer, and the judge of every Marine under your charge. Company-level problems? They're your breakfast. Either way, you've got respect, influence, and an inbox full of impossible problems. And let's be honest, you're the last stop before the Marine Corps turns you into a bureaucratic wizard with a pension. Master Gunnery Sergeant, Sergeant Major, E9. You've reached the promised land, or what's left of it. Master Gunnery Sergeant, you're the top technical mind. You know everything, and you're trusted with decisions that can impact entire units. Sergeant Major, you're the unit's godfather. You lead with presence. Your voice can make a captain cry. People fear you. Officers consult you. Enlisted worship and resent you in equal measure. You've become Marine Corps royalty, and like any monarch, you smile in public and scream into your pillow at night. Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, E9S, the one, the myth, the Marine. There's only one of you. You advise the Commandant, represent all enlisted Marines, and walk with the confidence of someone who could end a war with a stare. Your haircut costs more than a private's paycheck. You are the living embodiment of Semper Fi, but you're also one weird tweet away from public scandal. You've done it. You survived every rank, every inspection, every sergeant major who hated your guts. And now you carry the weight of the Corps on your shoulders and secretly miss being a Lance Corporal with no responsibilities and a 12-pack in your barracks mini fridge. And remember, every Marine starts as a boot, but only the truly cursed end up with a desk. Think this was bad? Wait till you see what the Army's got going on. Trust me, their rank structure is like a dysfunctional family tree with more yelling. Click here to watch my full roast of every US Army rank. It's brutal, it's funny, and yes, E4s are still the most dangerous.